Hey, Jake, I am sick of AI. I have
Really?
it to here with the AI. I don't know if you're using the AI. I'm done with it. I don't know if I told this story about somebody asking AI what they were interested in. Like, they're like, well, it knows me. I'm supposed to start a podcast about something I'm passionate about. So I'll just ask my AI. But that's just a outrageous story. Like, I wanted to just dig a hole and fall in it when I heard that. But what happened most recently was I have a software subscription to something.
Mhm.
And for the first time in like 5 years, they're raising prices, they're doubling the price. But don't worry, we're adding a bunch of whiz bang AI features. And I'm like,
Wow.
take the AI out, charge me the old price. That's all. I didn't ask for the AI. I don't want the AI. I got my own brain. What are we doing with it? It drives me nuts.
Dude, that reminds yeah, I totally with you. Like I tried to get uh internet and cable TV. This was years ago, and they kept saying, "Well, yeah, you can also bundle it with a home phone." I'm like, "I don't want a home phone. Just no home phone. Well, it's cheaper if you had to add a home phone. Well, then give me the cheaper price and then never have a home phone set up because." And they kept asking, "Why don't you want a home phone? Why don't you want a home phone?" I mean, it was 10 years ago, so it was like it's
Yeah,
2015. That's why I don't want to. I
right.
don't want.
That's crazy. I used to have a joke that I could never really get to work. That it was basically about movie theater pricing, which is the
Mm,
same thing. It's like illogical pricing. It's like I can get a popcorn and a soda for $8
yeah,
or for $7.95. Throw in junior mints. It like makes no sense. It's like they want you to get more. And then I was all upset because the post office, I don't know, they got some new chief marketing officer or something 10, 20 years ago. And all the pricing at the post office is now like movie theater pricing. It's like
really.
you go in and for $4.95, you can send your package by a drunk mule who has diabetes. He may not make it. Or for $5.57, you can have laser guided missile delivery with tracking, and
Yeah,
it does drive me nuts, the pricing stuff.
and I mean, when you go to the movie theater, they're like, hey, the biggest version of these items are ridiculously big. I mean, that's me saying this,
Yeah. I hear you.
and I mean, it is like you have to hold the
It's for a
cup with
family
two
of
hands.
8 in Ghana.
Yeah, it is like it's like one of those buckets from Home Depot filled
Yes.
with uh, with
Popcorn.
popcorn, and then they have the audacity to say whenever they hand it to you, "Oh, here's the large this, here's the large that. By the way, you get a free refill."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Oh, man. That's
10 gallons
crazy.
of popcorn here.
Yeah.
I had an AI thought. Okay, so
Okay.
this was years ago, but I saw a new a commercial for, I think it was called Copilot. It was like Microsoft's version of
Yeah, it
AI.
helps you. It like codes alongside you or something.
And so I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I have never even heard of this AI, and so I go on Copilot, and I was like, okay, let's see if it can write a joke. I only asked it one joke, one prompt in my whole life. I've asked AI, and I said, can you write a joke about dachshunds? Like, I have
Okay.
dachshunds. I have two miniature dachshunds. I've got a joke about them already in my act, but I like dachshunds, whatever.
Wait
So
a
I'm like,
second. Wait a second. Miniature dachshunds?
miniature.
Isn't that like a redundancy?
No, no, no. So like
Are these like
yeah,
toy poodle dachshunds?
if
We
you
got
see them
teeny
next to a
tiny
regular
wieners.
dachshund, yeah, they are way shorter. And it's weird because I have two of them, and they're like brother and sister. They're from the same litter, and the boy dog is a little bigger than the girl dog, but when they're together, it's like, well, this dog's huge and this dog's light, tiny. But they're both so small. It always happens whenever I leave town and I come back in town. I see the dogs. I'm like, golly, I forgot how small these things are. They're really small. Like,
Jake, you have cats,
yeah, my
FYI.
wife,
Those are cats.
my wife is a pretty small lady. She's like 5'3", you know, and she will sit on on the couch or whatever and have both dogs on her lap with a blanket on top. You can't tell that there's a dog on the couch. Like, that's how small these dogs are. So I ask Copilot, I say, hey, can you write a joke about dachshunds? This is what it says. I was shocked at this joke. He says, any dog can be a wiener dog if you have enough peanut butter. I'm like, that is the dirtiest joke about dachshunds I have ever heard.
I didn't even get it until you.
And I read it and I was like, oh, dude.
It's not terrible.
We're done with AI.
Yeah. AI stinks. Get out of here. Copilot. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm back with some more chili lime pineapple. If you can believe it, I haven't had a can since last week. So I'm going to
you're just
try and have one
you
per.
see my face and you're like, that needs some chili lime pineapple.
This is, if you haven't heard our previous episode, don't go buy chili lime pineapple. It's atrocious. Tastes like weak battery acid. Yeah. So last week, Jake, I was talking about towards the end of the episode, I said that I had some venue wins.
Yeah.
And so wanted to follow up on that. So for people who don't know, if you run a lot of comedy shows, you need places to run those comedy shows. Sure. And you don't own those places. So you're basically groveling with business owners. Oftentimes ones that are about to go out of business are the ones where the most successful comedy events occur, because there's no cancellation because some wedding decided to book the venue. But I've been having the worst luck in 2025. I've been losing venues. I've had venues say no, left, right, and center. And I had a show in Castle Rock, Colorado. That's a suburb like 30 minutes south of Denver for years. Yeah. And we were at multiple venues. We were downtown for a while. Then we went to a theater for a little bit, and the theater went out of business. And I just could not find another venue. And prior to starting Castle Rock Comedy Show, I tried for probably 2 years to find a venue. It's the kind of place that's too successful. I would go in like 10:30 a.m. and they'd already be on a lunch rush. Yeah. And I'd be like, would you like to do a comedy show? And they're like, what are you talking about?
So are you going in in person? Is that?
Yeah, I go in person. I usually wear some kind of comedy swag. I have my card. I have a whole I try and be professional. And every once in a while, people are excited to talk to a comedian. A lot of times they're not, or don't even understand what you're talking about. Like I was in a Mexican restaurant recently, and the guy didn't really speak enough English to understand what I was saying. So I went through this whole passionate speech, and he's like, nodding his head. And I'm like, oh man, I'm getting somewhere. And I finish and he goes, could you say that again? I'm not quite sure. What do you do again? It's like, do you think I'm selling you margarita machines? What's happening here? Anyways, very exciting. Coffee shop in downtown Castle Rock, Crowfoot Valley Coffee. Love them to death. They signed on for a show, just one, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. And crazy thing that happened, the gentleman who owns this coffee shop, I finally did meet him this week when I went to hang up a poster. But previously, I'd only talked to employees who told me I should get in touch with this guy. And I sent him an email. And a week later, I sent him an email. And a week later, I had his business card, so I called him. I don't know if you're too young to make phone calls, but I'm a big phone call guy. I had a comic call me yesterday. First words out of his mouth were, hey, I know you're old, I'm old. I figured this would be much quicker than emails. I hope it's okay that I called you. He was like apologizing for calling. Yeah. Anyways, so I call this guy. The voicemail is like, hi, this is name. I am the owner of Crowfoot Valley Coffee Shop and the mayor of Castle Rock, Colorado. What? Please leave a message after the beep. Beep. So right off the bat, I'm like, wow. It's an honor to speak to you, mayor of Castle Rock. I have sent you some emails. And I'm just like laughing the whole time. And I'm finally like, I had no idea you were the mayor. How
Yeah.
exciting. Have a terrific day. Anyway, so it all worked out. We're gonna have a show there. I think it's gonna be pretty good. It's one of these shows where I already had a headliner, and then
Nice.
like a pretty big headliner, like somebody with multiple comedy albums from
Mhm.
LA, reached out and was like, "Hey, I'm trying to fill this date," and it's pretty sure it's a Wednesday night,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, I can offer you this feature spot for X dollars, which is not X is not very large.
Yeah.
And they were like, absolutely, sign me up. So, so
Wow.
double headliner show essentially.
Are you going to be are you the other headliner?
No, dude.
Oh,
On my own shows, unless I'm out of state,
yeah.
I almost never am the headliner. I'm always booking people way above my level.
Yeah.
I do wonder what will happen in the long, like as I get better and better. But I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get the credits anyways to compete.
Mm.
I think with these people that I'm booking. I mean, I'm booking people with like late night credits. They're passed at the Comedy Cellar. Their name is on the wall at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe on a long enough timeline, 10 years, something like that. And then maybe I won't be running shows anymore. That seems to be the way people trend. But I would like to run. I feel like running shows is good karma. It's kismet for the comedy community. You're giving back to comedians. And so I would always like to, in some way or another, be involved in making stage time for comics.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder about coffee shops. That's interesting that you said coffee shops, because I don't think I have ever done a comedy show at a coffee shop until I moved into the Louisville area, and I think I've only ever done them in Tennessee, but I've done 4 or 5 of them in Tennessee.
Now, this one has a bar.
Okay.
Have you done? No. So this one has an full liquor license.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's legal, but they got the mayor on board. So who cares?
No, these are the kind of coffee shops that you walk in and like they have the hours of operation, and this is supposed to be closed 5 hours ago. I mean, we are after hour. Like this has never been open in this late.
Yeah, well, that's a great thing about coffee shops. That's why they're kind of like a go-to for me because they're not open at night. So if you can convince a staff member to be there, then there's no competition. You're not taking away business from them.
Yeah.
That's a problem with a bar or a restaurant that doesn't have like a side room.
And you're not ticking off regulars, right? If you do, the guy that always drinks on Wednesday nights is now like, I got to pay $5 for this open mic or whatever it is. Like that's not,
Yeah, so that was one of the venue wins. Let me go even weirder on the next one.
Right.
So another show that's orphaned, Aurora Comedy Show, near and dear to your heart, has not had a venue for several months. And I was out buying laser discs, which we have touched on occasionally, at a basically like a retro video store.
Yeah.
Okay, in Aurora, off Chambers and 225.
Yeah.
It is, no air conditioning, huge. They have like 50,000 DVDs in this place, old equipment, and it's a big space. And, and everywhere I go, I'm like, could I run a comedy show here?
Yeah.
And I actually didn't think about it because I was so focused on the laser discs. But later that night, I was like, I wonder if I could run a comedy show at that place. So I got on Google Maps. They had a little thing where they go through the store. I forget what you call that. Like the, I don't know what you call that. If we had a producer, I could ask them to look it up, but no producer at this point. Anyways, I was like, I could probably run a show here. So I went back and I talked to the owner. And that was the other thing. I met the owner. He was working there. And I said, hey, could we run a comedy show here? And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, those shelves are on wheels and we move those, and I brought in chairs and a speaker and some lights and a stage. And he's like, that sounds like a lot of work. And I'm like, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, we can try it once. Like he was the easiest sell I've ever had, but he has no alcohol. I actually was like kind of curious about space around him. And I was asking him like, hey, what's going on with all those empty, storefronts? He's like, over the pandemic, they don't have electricity. Like that karate studio next door runs off a generator.
I believe it's a dojo.
A dojo. Okay, it runs off a generator. I'm the only unit that still has electricity. There's like 15
What?
units. So, people like climbed in through the HVAC stuff and ripped all the wires
What?
out of the walls during the pandemic. Jake, that was like 5 years
That's
ago.
a long time
They
ago.
haven't
Yeah.
they haven't fixed it since then. And they have people running businesses off generators and their air conditioning doesn't work. So I told the guy, well, obviously we can't run shows during the summer. And that's fine because summer comedy is difficult anyways.
Yeah.
But maybe we can do something this fall. And
That's
anyway,
exciting. Yeah.
those are my venue wins.
Are you going to do like BYOB on these events?
I would prefer not to talk about that on air.
Oh,
We can talk later. I don't yet know the mayor of Aurora.
there you go. Okay. Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
To be determined. Maybe you can give them some pineapple, chili, lime.
Yeah, geez, this tastes like grain alcohol.
Yeah.
Moonshine. Holy cow.
Yeah.
How's any shows this week? What did you do this week?
Yeah, I did a couple of trips up to Cincinnati. And so I went to Cincinnati, Go Bananas in Cincinnati.
I got a Cincinnati story or question for you right after
Okay.
this.
Yeah. On Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. So Tuesday was a competition, and then Wednesday was the Pro-Am is what they call the open mic that's connected to the comedy club. So it's a good open mic.
Yep.
But they do a thing where they really favor locals. So because I'm not in town, I have to wait months. It's not quite Comedy Works, but it's pretty close to Comedy Works, like level of waiting. So
did you
whenever
come home in between, or did you stay in Cincinnati?
No, I came home and I worked and did my day job between.
How long a drive is that?
Well, so here's the issue. It's not supposed to be very long, but on the first of these days. So I know I'm going on Tuesday. I'm going on Wednesday. So on Tuesday, I'm driving up there, and the traffic is just terrible. Now, part of the problem was I have a car that tells you how many miles left to empty, and I was like, I can make it. And then we were in bumper to bumper, completely stopped traffic. I put it in park and turned the car off for like 50 minutes. We are in like unbelievable traffic. It made the news how bad the traffic was. And I call my wife, and she's like, you're not going to still go, are you? Like, just come home. Just come home. And I'm like, there's literally no chance. There's a median. There's a wall next to me. There's a semi truck over there. If I wanted to leave, I can't leave. I'm stuck right here. And I didn't know that until I got into the mess. And then by the time I, went to a gas station, and then I was like, I'm not that far away. Let me call them and say, hey, I'm going to be late. Are you cool with that? And I did. And they were like, yeah, we're cool with that. So, nice. Worst trap. I've never had to miss a show or like give up on a show because of traffic before, but I was that close. Yeah.
I had a bad one recently where I misunderstood the start time of the show by an hour, and the producer was texting me, and I'm like, why is he bothering me? And I later come to find out, like, the show is happening while he's texting me, but he's just being like super polite. And I'm finally like, I like something just doesn't seem right. So like I Googled the show, and I'm like, oh my God, I have the wrong time. And I felt horrible about it. I had to race. I just broke all kinds of traffic laws. I was in the area. I had plenty of time. I killed an entire day. And
dude, I had a very similar thing. So I was Louisville Comedy Club. Darcy Lynn, she does puppets. She was on America's Got Talent. She does puppets, and the puppets sing and whatever. And it was a weird show where they were like, hey, we want you to be the announcer for this show. Fine, I don't know what an announcer means, but okay, I'll be the announcer. And I was like, in my mind, like, oh, it's 6:30, it's 6:30, it's 6:30 is where it starts. And then I was like, let me just double check. Oh, it's 5:30. Oh my goodness, I need to leave right this second. So I went from, thinking I was going to be the announcer. And as soon as I get there, Darcy Lynn's mom, who is kind of like running like producing or whatever, and she comes up to me. He's like, oh, okay, can you do 25 minutes? And as you noticed, this entire audience is the children and the parents of like, elementary school girls. So that's who's here tonight. So do extremely squeaky clean 25 minutes. And I'm like, oh, I thought I was an announcer starting at 6:30. And now we're like squeaky clean starting at 5:30. Oh my goodness.
That's brutal.
It went fine. The dads thought I was funny. So
nice.
the kids didn't get it.
I just had something exciting happen, and then I got to talk about Cincinnati. I was trying to book a show at a like retirement community.
Yep.
And I told them how much it would cost. And then they said, what would you think about doing 3 shows? Because we have 3 different buildings and you just go between them. And I was like, I can do it, but it would be 3 times as much as what I just said. And they were like, yeah, of course. And so like I'm driving an hour to get to this place and I get to do 3 shows instead of 1. It's incredible. What a like that. You never get gifts like that as a comedian.
That's awesome,
Your lap. You're like, okay, we've agreed on a price. Now we're just going to triple it out of the blue. And they're only like, I'm doing half hours at each one.
Yes.
So it's like not even that long a day. It's going to take a couple hours to knock out 3 of these shows.
And I've done nursing homes or retirement communities or whatever it is. I don't know. Like there's a big difference between a retirement community and a nursing home, but sometimes they, but a lot of times those shows are like 2 in the afternoon. It's like,
it is.
I got all day.
That's even better. Yeah, I think I start at 1:30.
Yeah,
I do a show from 1:30 to 2. I got a few minutes to get over the next one, 2:15 to 2:45, a few minutes to get over the next one, 3:30. I'm all done. Incredible. Now, what reminded me of that was that squeaky clean. Like it's a different kind of clean. It's just like, it's not easy to go for half an hour to people who can barely hear you and don't know what the internet is. And it's tricky. I'm looking forward to it though. The last one I've done several, and the last one I did was particularly bad.
They can be real bad.
I want to wipe that off, that stink, and have a good one.
I want to say I've done like 12 or so, and sometimes they are like brutal, and it's just nobody. They're like they're not paying it. They're not able to pay attention. They're very nice. Nobody's mean. Nobody's ever mean, but it's just like, oh. And it's almost it gets a little sad. Like, I'm not sure if I like this. But then sometimes it's just they love it. They're just like having a good time. They're rolling in the chairs.
Have you seen one?
They're heckling me.
Have you been to one where they're serving alcohol?
Yeah.
What is that? It's crazy. I didn't like when I was a kid and saw my grandparents in the old person's home. They weren't rolling around beverage carts. It's like a first class airplane at 2 in the afternoon. They're making screwdrivers and
that's right.
They're like, hey, we're paying for this.
Yeah.
We're spending our kids' money. We're gonna have some fun. It's hilarious.
They got little plastic cups with wine in it. Like, oh yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, I guess it's good for comedy, but anyway, Cincinnati. Do you know a guy named Rand Barnacle?
Oh yeah, unbelievably funny.
So funny. I worked with him, and I was smitten. Jake. He was so fun. He was really good.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys in Cincinnati who are, I mean, really fantastic. It's hard whenever you think about Cincinnati. Whenever I think about Cincinnati and their comedy scenes, like they got some killers up there. They got several comedians that are very, very good. I kind of like our scene, like the Louisville scene, is because of proximity to places and the amount of stage time that we can get and the amount of work and so there's a lot that I like about Louisville, but sometimes I'm like, those Cincinnati boys, those are real funny guys. Oh my goodness, they're so funny. I was at the Pro-Am and one of those guys is Blake, and he is incredibly Blake. What is his last name? Hammond, Blake Hammond. Yeah, very, very funny guy. And this open mic, I mean, Pro-Am was not necessarily going well. There's a couple of weaker comedians, and then he gets up there and just murders. And I've seen Rand do the same thing. Just kind of like, okay, kind of a, why are we here? You know, this is not, and then just murder the entire room. So it's always fun to see those guys do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I got a crazy story for you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and anonymize it a little bit, change a couple of details.
Can I guess? Can I guess who it is?
Off air, sure. So I'm working at a club. I'm doing 15-minute spots. We've done some shows. It's over the course of a weekend. It's the first show of a new night. Headliner comes in kind of tipsy. Was at an event that day, probably had some drinks, gets up on stage, immediately announces that they're drunk, and the audience isn't having it. And then I don't watch the set. The owner comes up to me 20 minutes into the set. He's supposed to do a lot longer than that, and goes, "Hey, I think something's wrong." And I go, "Yeah, he's drunk, I'm pretty sure." And he goes, "Yeah, I was outside, but I can hear the inside." And he repeated an entire joke, it sounded like. And so the owner goes, "Oh, I'm going to try and pull him off early. I'm going to light him early. And can you do 10 minutes afterwards?" So like after the headliner, can you do 10 minutes? And I just did 15 of like my best stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I say, yes, absolutely, I can. And then I'm like, in my head, I'm like, all right, what should I, I come up with a game plan. And luckily the guy gets lit like 6 times, is not getting off in any hurry, starts a new story, gets lit again. Finally he gets off. I go up. I mean, the audience is cold, I guess. I get him going finally. End on a nice pop, get off stage. I'm helping we got another show right after. I'm helping the club owner, manager, whatever, like turn over the room. And I'm with this club manager, and one of the patrons walks out and looks at me and just goes, "Nice save." He's walking off.
That's always fun, right in front of the booker guy.
Yeah. I felt pretty good about that. And then there was it was difficult to convince the person that they weren't on the next 2 shows a little bit. Not impossible, but it wasn't as straightforward.
The headliner didn't get to finish the night.
No, they bumped somebody else up and brought in a guest spot, and then they had another guest spot, which reminds me of a different story of a guest spot. You know Elon Stribling, right?
Yeah, very fun.
Yeah, completely unrelated. He brought his baby on the stage.
No way.
I don't know if you know, he has like a 2-year-old, maybe 1 to 2-year-old. Yeah. I'm not a good baby judge, but it was pretty fun. It was a show I was hosting, and I got to bring him on the stage, and he comes out with the baby, and he's got the microphone up to the baby. And it was, you see so much that is like the same. It feels like Groundhog Day, but every once in a while something happens that's unique.
Yeah,
it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, there's some interesting things out there. Yeah.
Have you ever worked with an inebriated comedian?
No. Well, I have in my improv life. I remember one time, and so one of the guys in my troupe, he apparently his girlfriend dumped him, and he got plastered, and then he did the show, and I tore him a new one afterwards. I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. But I do have a stand-up related story. So I was doing a weekend and here in Louisville, and I was the host. And the headliner is definitely in town. This is the 3rd day, and the hotel is like 1 minute walk away from the club. It is right there. And the first show on Saturday doesn't show up. Just not around. Just not around. I do my whole set. Still not there. Feature does the whole set. I'm like, where's the headliner? I have no idea. And And so then the manager comes up to me and we're basically trying to plot. Like I knew that the feature, and I'm not, not to I'm not going to name names but he has 20 minutes. Does he have 20 minutes more? I don't know. I do though.
Yeah.
And so what would be I think it would be really hard if I just kind of walked on stage and like handed him a note, do 20 more minutes. I think he would have imploded.
Yeah.
So instead, whenever I brought him off, I just stayed on stage until they lit me and said, we have the headliner ready to go on stage.
Yeah, nice.
And so that was a little weird. So you host, I do 10 minutes and then I do another 13 halfway through the show. I don't think the audience knew what was happening.
You know what this reminds me of, actually? This whole idea of extending.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, thank goodness, we're far enough into comedy to be able to do that. But I remember a time that you and I were not far enough into comedy. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
What an incredible disaster.
Oh, yeah.
Jake and I did the show together. I don't know who I'm talking to. If you're driving your car right now, I guess I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
But man, we did a show in Aspen, Colorado, which is about a 4-hour drive from Denver. It took us 9-10 hours to get there. Crazy snow blizzard. Yep. The other comics gave up before they even started. They're like, we're not driving in this. And we're like two open micers.
Yep.
A year into comedy or something. Yep. And we're supposed to fill on the upside. I think there were supposed to be 4 or 5 comics, and every comic got like a $50 food voucher. Yeah. So we got to split $250.
That's right.
Food vouchers. But they wanted us to do 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I from my recollection, I was like, well, I'll do 60, you do 30. And then you got off at like 22.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God,
yeah.
Now I got to do 68. I'm like reading from a note. It was rough, but they were so nice and supportive.
Yeah, they were very nice. Yeah. And it was a time, man. Yeah. But I do remember that. Yeah. That was a weird one.
Drive all the way back.
That was, if I'm not mistaken, it was in like February of 2020. So it was
right before the pandemic?
Right before. And I remember, like, because I was a teacher at the time, and there was a lot of snow days in early second semester of 2020, and a lot of snow days, and I got kind of cabin fever for a little while. And I'm like, man, I'm sick. And so then you threw this idea out, like all the way to Aspen, and I'm like, all right. I mean, it's just something to do. Just get me out of the house. I don't care anymore. And you're like, you got chains on your tires? Like, no, I don't got chains. We got a 4-wheel drive. Well, my wife got a 4-wheel drive, so I'll just take her car. And I go up the mountain, and then we come back, and the world shuts down. You thought 2 days of snow days was cabin fever? How about 18 months?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I should remember that story better because I'm supposed to be working on my book this entire month, and I have managed to procrastinate so effectively that I'm just now realizing I should put that story into the book. That's a good one. I need to get that in there.
No, that's a good story.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah. There are contests and they are very in my region, at least. I don't know if these are, I don't remember these in the Denver region, but there are contests that call themselves the funniest person in blank city. So there's a funniest person in Indiana, the whole state. There's an Indianapolis one does that. Funniest person in Louisville, funniest person in Cincinnati, funniest person in Nashville. All of those have happened in the last year, right? Those are all competitions. There are not an agreed upon set of rules for these competitions.
Okay.
And what I mean is, funniest person in Nashville, you have to live in Nashville. funniest person in Indiana, you have to live in Indiana. But Cincinnati and Louisville, you don't.
Okay.
So the most recent funniest person in Louisville contest was won by a guy in Nashville, a guy out of Nashville,
Okay.
which I was annoyed with because I had earned my way into the finals, and then I was headlining a show and I couldn't make it, and so it's like he didn't even have. There was only 4 of us in the final, so I had a pretty good chance of winning, and he didn't even have to compete against me, so that was annoying.
Okay.
I'm in the finals for the funniest person in Cincinnati, so there's a chance that in 2 weeks or so, I may or may not be the funniest person in Cincinnati. I've never lived there. What do you think about it? What do you think about funniest person in as a name for a contest and the rules they're in?
What you got to realize is that name is mostly for marketing the selling of tickets to the shows that lead to the result. But you're thinking about the result. And the reality is you're not supposed to care at that point.
You're not supposed
but a good question is like, what do you do with that resume item? Are you able to say and advertise in like an EPK or to a booker? And of course you are.
Yeah.
But anybody in the comedy industry, if I heard that and I'd never been to that competition and I was cynical, I might assume the worst and say, oh, that could be a bringer competition.
Yeah.
Maybe this person just has a lot of friends.
Yeah.
That still go to their comedy. So I think for out-of-towners to win, I think that's fine. I mean, comics travel, right?
Yeah.
On any given night, the funniest person in Denver is probably somebody who's headlining Comedy Works that lives in LA or New York City. So I think I'm okay with it. I think if you're having a conversation with somebody and you have the ability to elaborate, you could say, hey, I'm the funniest person in Cincinnati 2025.
Mm-hmm.
I actually lived in Louisville at the time. And all those qualifiers, they just start adding up. Because once you say 2025, oh, this is like a time-boxed thing.
Yes,
like there's a difference between funny, like are you no longer the funniest once 2026 happens? Who knows?
Yeah.
Who cares? I mean, contests, they stink.
Contests are they're a tough putt, man. I mean, I think they're a pressure cooker and that can really elevate and tighten material. But I will say this, if you want a good tape, there is nothing better than a comedy.
Yeah, that's about what I was going to say. The best part of contests is the actual stage time.
Yeah.
The whole politics and rigmarole and drama and bruised egos, et cetera, that all stinks. And the sometimes unfairness of it all is a bummer. But if you just focus on, hey, I get 5 minutes, like at Comedy Works, at New Faces, you get 5 minutes. It's the only time you're going to get 5 minutes in your first 10 to 15 years in comedy on that stage. You get a chance once a year and they let you record it. They sell you the tape, but you can get that tape and that's great. And they sell tickets to it. So that's a wonderful part about competitions.
Yeah, that was my submission tape for years is Comedy Works 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a contest coming up in September. I got a crazy run coming up, not this weekend, but the weekend after. I'm doing shows in Idaho.
Okay.
Soda Springs, Idaho. Want to shout out Soda Springs. I'm sure you're tuning in right now. Apparently they have a geyser there. That must be what Soda Springs is. Unclear if it's like Dr. Pepper that's bubbling out or baking soda. Arm & Hammer is based there. I'm not really clear. I did look it up on a map, and it did seem to be nowhere. I'm also going to Mountain Town, Idaho.
It's just called Mountain Town.
That's it, Mountain Town, Idaho. Very basic, very descriptive. These are like bar shows. They're going to be, I'm guessing, pretty rough. We can check in a couple weeks and see how they go. I can tell you from early ticket sales, they are not looking bueno. I started some paid ads. I'm like headlining, but they're not like my shows. But I started paying for ads just because I want somebody to be there, and maybe I can sell merch to make it up. And they're in. I guess it's next. Sorry, the first show, Soda Springs, is next Wednesday. So by the time we tape another episode, I'll have done those shows Wednesday and Thursday.
Nice.
And then Friday, it is kind of exciting. I'm headlining my first ever Don't Tell.
Oh, great.
In Salt Lake City. Yeah.
In Salt Lake. Wow.
Yeah, which is like, if you look at a map, I'm terrible at geography, but I was like, okay, I got it's Wednesday, Thursday. What else can I do? All right, well, it's kind of near Salt Lake City. And so I added a Friday in Salt Lake City. And so a little 3-nighter run. We'll see how it goes. It sounds like the perfect run for me because ideally on any run, the best show is the last show.
Yep.
Because you don't want to wallow in an L for a long time. And so it definitely looks like tough show. The Don't Tell should be very easy.
Yeah. Don't Tells can be really, really fun.
Have you done the Columbus Don't Tell?
No. Okay. Yeah, they brag about it. Columbus brags about it. And
great. Not only do they pay crazy, but they're supposed to be super fun too.
Yeah. So I've never done that one. I've done Nashville and in Louisville, in Lexington. Lexington was a pretty good one.
Nice.
But never all the way up there.
Any coffee shops in your Don't Tell?
No, I mean it was a T-shirt store. I did a T-shirt store.
Okay.
And I don't even know what it felt like an abandoned building that had this weird staircase like right in the middle of the room, and we're like, all right, let's do it here. It was a great show though. It worked out really well. You know?
Unreal. How's December looking? We keep talking about your December.
I know. My December is still blank. Well, I meant not be 100% blank, but the money dates
the weekends
are still empty.
Big weekends. I don't know if this is going to happen, but I got a booking inquiry for a holiday party in January, which is like so terrific. I really hope it comes through. Good money, and it's January. January is usually dry.
Yes.
And ironically, it's a water company, so it will not be dry.
Yeah,
we're gonna make it rain.
I remember there's this semi truck company hired me to do a holiday party one year, and they must have had just a really good year because I quoted them. I mean, decent money, and then they were like, "Let's double that." And then they ended up writing a check for like $200 more than that.
Wow.
On the date, I'm like, hey, I'm leaving. Like, oh, here's the okay, do this, man. Here you go. And I'm like, golly, dude. So
that's amazing. That's great. How I got to tell you, our numbers have dropped off a little bit, and I think the secret sauce was Savannah Bannanas.
Oh, really?
We should probably say Savannah Bannanas a couple more times. Have you heard of the Savannah Bannanas?
Yes. Yeah.
That was our episode that really popped.
They love the
Savannah Bannanas. I think the algorithm really liked recommending it. So if we can just find something very popular. Did you hear that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged?
Yes. That's
unbelievable.
Exciting.
We should have written a joke. That would be a fun little segment.
Yeah.
Maybe we should find like a news item and write a couple jokes.
Well, did you see her announcement for it? So her announcement was something like, your English teacher is marrying your gym coach, and then like a stick of dynamite. And like so on Instagram, a picture of them standing there or whatever.
Did she used to be an English teacher? I don't know a lot about.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think didn't she become famous at like 14, 15? Like she's always been.
Yeah, she was doing open mics and yeah.
But
maybe we could get her on the pod. That would be great.
Yeah. We could at least ask.
Yeah. Has she made it?
Yeah, she said. But it's like you're referring to yourself as the English teacher. It's like you're a musician. Just say the music teacher. Why are you the English teacher? That doesn't make any sense. Like,
was it like supposed to be modest? Maybe
I don't know. I mean, I guess she thinks of herself like a poet or like
a writer.
a
Interesting.
writer, but you're a musician, and that's
And then he's a
fine.
gym teacher because he's in
He's
athletics.
an athlete. I mean, he's the
Well,
old
I
guy.
don't know. Maybe there's a surprise coming. Maybe they're making a movie about teachers,
Hmm.
or maybe the wedding is going to be themed around education somehow.
I think maybe she didn't write it.
Or
It's,
perhaps that's their kind of go-to role playing.
yeah. He just wears little shorts, and she's
He's got
got
a whistle.
glasses.
The whistle is important. The whistle is his
Whistle, yeah.
safe word.
Yeah. She's got the glasses and the hair in the bun. She's talking about Shakespeare the whole time.
Step into my office. Oh.
They've got like
So we need some more. We need some high. What's the word I'm looking for? High
traffic.
High traffic,
Buzzwords.
some sticky topics that are
Buzzwords.
gonna drive the algos. We gotta
cryptocurrency. There we go.
Cryptocurrency, generational wealth.
I got a cryptocurrency story. It's a really easy one though.
Okay.
So I went to Israel, and I went without my wife, and so everybody on this trip was connected with the seminary in some way. And I had already graduated, but I was taking classes just for fun, and they let me go. And everybody else was basically a seminary student or had just graduated, something like that. And because I'm traveling without my wife, I am have a roommate.
Okay.
And just a grown man I've never met. We're going to share a room all week, like for 10 days in a row. We're going to sleep. I mean,
this is not impressive to me, Jake. I'm the wrong audience for this. I sleep in my car.
Well,
I share hotel rooms with comedians all the time. But continue, I'm astonished. Jake, I can't believe that at this age, you have a roommate.
And it's a little, I mean, I've just met the guy. And so anyway, I'm talking to him, and I know he's a seminary student, so we have kind of that in common. So I'm talking about that. I'm like, oh, what do you do for a living? He's like, oh, and this is how he describes his job. I got really into crypto. That's the first words out of his mouth. I got really into crypto.
Okay, maybe you're staying at the Four Seasons now.
And basically, that was like the subtext was, and it went very well for me. And so basically, I retired at 33, and now
let me tell you an incredible story about doing a show in Duluth, Minnesota, and the booker puts me across the state border in Wisconsin. Can't remember the name of the town. Somebody can look it up. And basically in a halfway house, puts me in a halfway house where the key, a physical key, broke off in the door. What? And I went down to tell the people about it, and they were like, yeah, that happens all the time. Let me come up. We'll fish the old key out. We'll get you a new key. We got 1 million of them. We just hand out to homeless people these keys. Anybody can get into that room. Anyways, I was sharing that room with a stranger, another comic, and I want to say double bed. Might have been a queen bed. One bed. I shared a bed. An adult man had to share a bed with a stranger. That was awful. It was there have been some lows in the I'm trying to make it at this point, Jake.
Yeah, that's not Taylor Swift. No.
It was rough. So how are you going to fill in your December? What's the game plan?
Well, I jumped back on those listing services, the Gig Salad, the Bash.
That's how I get all mine. Yeah. And they're not always through those because people get sneaky and they like look you up and then they Google you and contact you directly. But you can kind of tell that they came from one of those.
So I've been doing. I kind of took a break from that for a little while, and so I jumped back on those earlier. I do, yeah.
Okay, I don't pay for any of them. Oh, maybe one of them I pay, but like the lowest tier.
Yeah, the Bash you have to pay for.
Yeah, but every year I cancel. And a salesperson calls me and I say, well, if you'll honor my original rate, I'll get back on. And hopefully they don't watch this because I've been pulling that scam for years.
No, I did. I basically do the same thing. And to make, that I'm serious, I take a break from it. Now, Gig Salad has a thing where there is a free version, but you are only listed in one category.
Yeah, there's also a geographic restriction as well. I
Yes.
recently discovered.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be like, hey, I'll fly anywhere for enough
Yeah.
money. I'll drive just
Yeah.
about anywhere. And they're like, no, not on the free tier. You won't.
Yeah. But the free tier that I'm in for Gig Salad that I was in, and so I still got leads and I still got booked even with the free version several times, was Christian comedian. So
Okay.
if you're looking for a Christian comedian, then you'll see me. If you're just looking for a regular comedian, you would not see me. So I have upgraded, so now you'll see me even.
Okay. Well, I think your timing's right because I'm
Yes.
getting a lot of inquiries about holidays.
I've got a couple of inquiries already. Nothing.
I think a newer comedian might wait till like November,
Yes.
but it's August.
Yes.
And I think now is the time that serious companies are planning.
Yeah. Now, hopefully that truck company, because they did it was like, it was something like, hey, tomorrow, can you come out? It was like, it was late.
There is definitely something to that. I've talked about this with other comics. There's like this calendaring strategy where instead of filling your calendar to the max, leave space open.
Yeah.
Because you will get last minute inquiries and they will be terrific inquiries.
Yeah.
I can't say that word for some reason. Inquiries. Say that word.
Inquiry?
Doesn't that feel weird?
That's a tough one to say.
That's a weird one. Inquiries.
Inquiries. Yeah.
Inquiries. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Anyways, it's nice when you don't have anything and somebody asks you, hey, can you do this for 3 times what you'd normally get paid? And you're like, actually, I can. Yeah. That's a whole, who knows when to say yes to gigs.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's some that are right there on the margin. I did one. I said yes to one recently, and this it was a pretty easy yes. It's in town, whatever. But the guy that the booker was like, man, I'm so sorry. It's not paying very much. I'm so sorry. And it's like, you don't need to start like that. It's all good.
Right.
But the Saturday night, I have like this nice corporate gig, and this was the Friday night. And so I'm like, I'm probably not going to. I can't sell the whole weekend now. But that Saturday's making the whole weekend worth it anyways. Who cares?
Right.
And then just today, I was putting the group message with the other comedians, and there's like 5 of us, 5 or 6 of us. I'm like, well, that's why we're not getting paid very much. Right. Like, we got too many of us in here.
Yeah. I don't know. We've talked about this in the past. I'm kind of on team lots of comics, less money.
Yeah.
It's a better show overall for the audience, but you're right. It doesn't pay as well, but you can't poison the well. You need the audiences to keep coming back to these shows.
Yep.
Or at least I do. Please. Soda Springs, Idaho, Mountain Town, Idaho, come to these shows.
Yeah.
Come out on a Wednesday night, on a Thursday night, please.
Castle Rock, the new
Find your gym teacher, find your English teacher. They're out there. Bring them with you. Unbelievable. You got any new jokes?
Yeah. So I was thinking about this. You were having trouble speaking earlier, and
it was a small stroke. No big deal.
And there's a joke that I really like that I have stumbled over the wording of many, many times. Now, the message gets across, the joke lands, but I feel a little goofy because I'm like, and so the way the joke goes is I'm talking to a little 4th grade kid, and I say, what does he want to be when he grows up? And he says he wants to be just like his dad. Oh, that's great. What's your dad do? Well, according to my mom, he's a degenerate gambler. That's really hard for me to say. Degenerate gambler, hard to say, can't do it. And so just recently I have brainstormed, and I think I'm just going to say scumbag. And just, it's a way easier word to say.
But the hard K.
The hard K's, the degenerate gambler.
It's a funny word.
It is funny. And it's kind of funny that, like the fourth grader doesn't really know what degenerate means, doesn't really understand the idea of gambler. But I don't know. I haven't done that. I haven't done the new version on stage. I've done the old version many times, and it's worked. But
Wait,
every
so
time,
the old
I
one
feel
is
like,
degenerate gambler.
say again.
The old one is degenerate
The
gambler.
old one is degenerate gambler.
Yeah, that's funny. I
It is
think.
fun. It is. It does. It works.
I mean,
And
it's so harsh and specific.
it is. So you're saying I have to keep saying degenerate gambler?
Well, you could do both. It could be a tag, like the kid's walking away. Man, that scumbag.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the tag is so the what's going on in the joke is I'm doing the show, and uh, I asked the kids. He's like the second kid that comes up, but I asked the kids, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And then I tell the audience, like, number one answer is YouTuber. That's what everybody says they want to be when they grow up, is YouTuber. These like little elementary school kids. And so I say to this other kid, wants to be just like his dad, a degenerate gambler, but he also has a YouTube channel. So that's the tag that I throw in there. And it ends up working.
Okay, a callback. I like
Yeah,
it.
a little callback.
Yeah.
In the
His
middle of it.
his YouTube username is scumbag567.
Yeah.
Jake,
Draft.
let me ask you a business question. So
Yeah.
I got this. We've talked about this holiday show I have in the
Yes.
prime weekend of December. And when they asked me to take less money, I said, fine, but I'm only going to do 20 minutes. So I can be in and out of there in like half an hour, 45 minutes. How do I get a second holiday party
Ooh.
in a specific geographic area? Like, could I take out ads on Google, like geographically constrained, and say
Ooh.
booking a holiday party?
Ooh,
Like,
I
especially
like
now in August, like, wouldn't those holiday party has to be a cheap keyword, right?
Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, holiday party would definitely be a cheap keyword now. Interesting. I'm just curious how many. Now you only need one, of course. I'm curious if you.
Because look, you're a secretary, right?
Yeah,
Or like an administrative assistant, whatever they call
yeah,
it
yeah.
these days. Don't cancel me, team. And your boss says, hey, it's time to book the entertainment for the holiday party. What is your very first step?
Oh, you Google it.
You Google it.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, if I get an ad, I'm
yeah.
going to be printing money, right?
What if you? Well, okay. Now, yes, I'm for it. And
Okay.
I think you
Maybe
should
I'll do it as an experiment. We can
an
go through it.
experiment.
I've never bought a Google ad ever.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. However, I'm thinking about this. What if you identify a couple of businesses, even in just 10, and call them and say, "Hey, I'm going to be in your area."
Cold call.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Do you know who's organizing your holiday party this year?
Yes. Yeah. The
Oh,
only thing, and then you like the reason I'm calling, right, is because I'm going to be in town.
I love that idea, Jake. I think the fatal flaw in it is that I'll get Tracy or Mikhail
Yeah.
that's running the holiday party, and I'll say, "Oh, this is great. We're doing ours on January 5th." I'm
Yes.
like, "No, no, 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 no. I need it in a specific time in a specific place." That's the hard thing. I mean, I think that's like an impossibility in comedy. You can't just, unless you're like Jerry Seinfeld, you can't just say, "I want to do comedy in Baltimore, August 19th, 6 p.m. in a hotel ballroom, and kill me with a dagger."
Ooh. Okay. Well, I
Candlestick.
mean, yeah, you could. What if you put on a
My own
bar
show.
show? Yeah, your own show. I
That
mean, you're playing with house money at this point because you're already traveling, you're already in town. As long
That's
as you
a
get
terrible
out of it.
idea, especially if I got some other comics involved and I could kind of just like swoop in and swoop out because I
Yeah,
got this other gig. The bad thing about that is I think that's a hard time of year to sell tickets because everybody's got a holiday party. Because if
yeah,
you're an individual, you're just an adult in a big city like Colorado. We're talking about Colorado Springs right now. If
yeah.
you're listening to this, if the algorithm somehow connects you and your name is Peter and you're booking a show in Colorado Springs on, I forget what the date is, but the
And
first
you're a fan
weekend,
of the Savannah Bananas.
yes, in December, and you want some cleanish comedy at
Yeah.
your holiday party, I'm your guy, Mark Masters, markmasters.co. It's like Colorado, not .com, couldn't afford it. Okay. So if I could put on a show, but I think like if you're a regular person, if you're not going to your company holiday party, you're going to your buddy's holiday party, you're going to your partner's company's holiday party, it's that time of year. Also, the NFL is going to kill me. There's going to be a playoff.
Yep.
Actually, it might be early enough in December that the NFL playoffs aren't going to ruin my dreams. How do we find out? That's got to be public, right?
I would imagine it'd be.
All right, I'm gonna have to do some research on that because I feel like that's later in December that they start the Saturday night playoff games.
Yeah.
All right, we got to start winding down. You got anything else you want to hit?
No, just I have yet to write in my fancy new book.
Oh, Jake, pull the Band-Aid off. Come on, man.
It's right here still.
I finished a chili lime pineapple today. You can write in your book.
But now I need to think about which pen to use. Which I mean, this might come full circle.
What's that saying about a poor craftsman blames his tools or whatever?
This might be my favorite pen.
What is it? What do we got?
It's from Valvoline.
Oh, whoa! You steal that?
Kind of. I've done a corporate event for Valvoline for a couple of years in a row.
Fun.
And I think
future sponsor of Mark and Jake try to make it Valvoline, everybody. Valvoline. The best motor oil.
Yeah.
If you drive a Tesla.
I remember the second year they were like gonna book me. The first year I'd gotten a pin just like this, and I was like overjoyed, like, yes, I get to get a new pin. It was the first time I had ever used a ballpoint pen until it literally was out of ink. I've never like gone because you just lose them.
Like finishing a chapstick. Nobody finishes a chapstick. You lose it before you finish it.
I was very excited about it, and I got a brand new Valvoline pen.
Just one,
because I hope to get one again this year. So
okay, yeah. You don't want to get greedy there. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. If you're out there, if you're booking a holiday party in December in Colorado Springs, I'm gonna look up the date right now as I fill time. Is it the 6th? It's the 6th, Saturday, December 6th, 2025. Go book your buddy Mark Masters. Go to markmasters.co. I got a contact form there. Also, this October, Mountain Fresh Comedy Festival, mfcomedy.com. We're screening a movie, Anxiety Club, on Wednesday, October 8th in Frisco, Colorado. That's part of Summit County. Very exciting news this week. We partnered with Building Hope Summit County. They are the largest nonprofit mental health kind of suicide awareness, kind of whatever that space is. They're reducing stigma in mental health, and that's exactly what that movie's going to do. Check that out. And also, Jake, if you're in Soda Springs, Idaho, next Wednesday, you should come out to a bar show. Tickets are cheap.
Yeah.
Don't watch some comedy. Don't watch that geyser. Watch some comedy. What are you up to? What do you got?
I'm going to the Mountain Fresh Comedy Festival. I'm very excited about it. And I just talked to my dad and my brothers, and I've convinced them to go up to Breckenridge for a couple of days as well. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Incredible.
Should be a good time. And so I am. I've got some shows coming up in Fort Wayne next weekend at Summit City. So it should be a good time. And you can go to bigjakecomedy.com and book me for your holiday show anywhere. Doesn't have to be Colorado Springs.
All right. He's mobile, folks. All right. We'll see you next time, everybody. Have a great week.